let's have a chat about what women find attractive in a man, because that's actually very different from what you would expect to find. Now, the truth is that as men, we all have very different preference, right? I will probably like something else than you do, but ultimately, we're all super visual creatures, right? The first thing we look at when we look at a woman is, do I find her hot or not? And only if the answer is yes, then we'll look at her personality. So, just looking at these pictures here, right? These three women, 99% of men, given the right circumstances and the opportunity, would sleep with them, right? So we look at that and we think that's how women think as well, right? We look first and foremost at whether we find her hot. And if the answer is yes, well, then we'll look at her personality as well. That is the truth. We look at all of the feminine traits. Does she have a pretty face? Does she have a nice body? And only then we look at the personality. So that's what we respond to as men, right? We respond to feminine looking women. So we kind of think that that is what women want as well. A masculine looking man with big muscle who is ready to attack, ready to go for it. That's what the whole alpha male influencer community wants us to believe. So what we think that women want is, yes, we think they're all different as well. They also have their own tastes, but they're also very visual, right? And the proof is that most attractive women date very attractive men. But then they say, well, that's not true. We don't care about looks that much. We care way more about the man's personality. That's what women say, right? So, what's the truth here? What is the truth? And let's go through this bit by bit. Do women want a masculine man? So, what these alpha male influencers, I'm just going to pick just two of them. What they want us to believe is that what really cares is being the alpha, strong dude like Andrew Tate, right? Looking angry all the time, being slightly pissed off, showing off your muscle a little too much, right? And just being ready to attack the world. Or like Wes Watson, just really showing off your wealth, being ready to fight anybody, constantly challenging everybody, constantly roid raging, and just being super angry. So the truth is, women want a degree of masculinity. They want a man who can lead, who knows what he wants, who's got a purpose, who's got a mission, who's got drive. But scientific studies show that women responding to hyper masculine men, to men like this, that's an absolute minority of women. So you don't need to look like these guys. Now, do women want good looking men? There's this movement right now, looks maxing, right? We've all seen it. And it's kind of cool, right? Becoming the best version of yourself. Why the hell would you not do that? Of course, right? We all want to be our best version, our strongest version, our best looking version. So working towards being a better looking version of us, that's a great idea. And of course, again, 99% of women will find Jacob Elordi very attractive, right? There's a reason he's a sex symbol. So beauty and aesthetics, they're nice, but again, they must be effortless. If it comes across as you trying hard, and that's something that I talk about all the time, if you come across as try hard, if you come across as putting in too much effort, like this guy here, the vast majority of women will be turned off. It works for this guy, Clavicular, because he is famous. Women want him not because of his looks, but because he's famous. He attracts a very specific type of women. That is not what we're going for. So, what do women actually want? They want an attractive man. Trying hard is the biggest killer to attraction, right? I'm going to link another video that I recorded recently where I talk about this. If you come across as trying a little too hard, as wanting it a little too much, that's literally the worst thing you can do. Women will smell that off of you. Other men will smell that off of you, and it will just come across as desperate. That's the last thing you want to do. So, looking good is a fucking asset. I would lie if I said it's not. It is an asset, but it needs to come across as effortless. Like you just woke up like this. That's just who you are. Like Jacob Elordi. Of course, he goes to the gym. Of course, he puts a ton of thought into his fashion, right? He has some sort of fashion people that set up his clothes, that select the clothes, that bring it to him. Tons of thought and time invested into that, but he just makes it look effortless. It's just like something he threw on in the morning. It doesn't look like he put in a ton of thought, right? Same with the jewelry. Look at this jewelry compared to this jewelry. Which one of these guys puts in more effort into looking cool, right? Here, this is so try hard. So you want to look like you just happened to look cool, like you just happened to be dressed well, like you just happen to look good. That's also why women are always talking about the surfer boy look, right? If your hair looks a bit messy, but it looks good, that is so much better than the guy with the perfectly combed hair where everything is a little overdone, right? So your aesthetics need to appear normal. I just wanted to make this video, that's already the end of today's video, to point out the importance of this and really give you a bit of contrast between these different people that we've seen in the beginning. You're really contrasting this try-hard energy that we see from these alpha male influencers compared to a guy like Jacob Elordi. Jacob Elordi is really the perfect example because everything about him comes across as effortless. Just him, he just happens to be good looking. And if you look at old pictures of him, he's good looking, but he's not a 10 out of 10. He made himself into a 10 out of 10 because his fashion is perfect, his grooming is perfect, his haircuts are perfect, but it all looks effortless. So he put in a lot of effort, but you can't see it right away. And that should be the goal to aim for. If you want help with this, link to my Calendly is down below. As always, let's hop on a call, let's have a chat, and I'll see you in my next video.